Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. I ain't got nothing on but my white and the PMS and the hoodie. Let's do what we do. Rightism, excuse me. 25 was led by storytelling, story with a message. The message and story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in receiving them. We got a good thing going. I appreciate you. Let's get it on. Right Thinkers mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. You ever had a spiritual orgasm? I need to teach you how to get that off too. Let's go. Right thinking mission, excuse me. Right thinking's way of life. And that's what it is. Through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission, that all right thinkers do just that. And I'm on my grind doing what I'm supposed to do. All you gotta do is tune in, do what you're supposed to do. Let's rock. Know thyself. I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Know thyself. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. They're teachable. They're simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. You know how we do. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. This is for the mature. I spent a lot of time preparing for this lesson so I can give it to you and hope you get it and understand it. So we're in chapter 13. The title is Right Thinkers. Let's talk about Introduction to Egyptian Tantra Yoga. If you've been following me, I gave you 5 categories of yoga, and I always tell you about those tantra yoga with the twisting and the bending, and okay, I tell you, I don't partake in that, but I know it, I understand it, so now I'm going to teach it. So it's called Developing the Life-Giving Fire. What's that? Sperm. Few know how to use it, and few even know how to master it. Semen retention, submission of your sexual urges. Shh. Okay, so we're going to get into this. This is the Egyptian sign for the Tantra Yoga. And it's titled Newt and Gad. You see the lady over the top? That's Newt. She represents heaven. That's the female aspect of nature. You see the guy at the bottom? That's Gad. He represents earth. Ancient times, the male represented the earth because the female represented heaven in that concept. Let's go over here. You see that? Uh-oh, here we go. It's not porn. That's the concept of Gad and Newt being separated after having a sexual embrace. And that penis you see sticking up there is going to be all over Egypt. So let's break it down what that means. Because I can see in society right now, we have no idea of what to do with that thing between our legs. Don't know the value of it. Don't know the purpose of it. We just think it's that's all they do with it. Here's the lesson for you guys. Let's go. Title Newt and Gad. Egyptian Tantra Yoga is purported to be what? The oldest system of the yoga. Tantra Yoga is a system of yoga and what? Which seeks to promote, listen, the reunion between the individual and the absolute reality. You and God. Same concept. Netta, God, Nettaru, you. God, Netta, and watch this, through what? The worship of nature. Excuse me. God, universe, nature. That's your gun. Okay, I stay armed. Watch this. Since nature is in what? Expression of God. You can believe and understand God. Yeah, that's fine. He hidden. And you also got to realize the universe that's made by God is Him, and everything in it, back to nature where we are, we can roll and understand it to understand God. And watch this. It gives us clues to what? To the underlying reality that sustains it and the way to achieve wisdom, aka knowledge of self. There's a format. We're going to break it down for you. Hopefully you get to understand it. But the most obvious and important teachings that nature holds is what? The idea that creation is made up of pairs of opposites. I've been teaching you that. Here we go. Up can't be up without what? Down. Here can't be here without what? There. You can't be you without what? Me. Get where I'm going with this? Us, them, hot, cold, more commonly, male, female. It's just concepts. Yin, yang, etc. You see where I'm going with this? So now we understand it. So we don't worry about, but you said. No, it's just all concepts. If you understand it, they all interlock. You'll understand it if you pay attention. The interaction between the male and the female. That's what we're going to learn about. Of those two complementary opposites, we call what? Life and movement. If we had all night, we wouldn't know day. If we had all day, we wouldn't know night. So you got to have complementary opposites to balance out creation. That's what he did it for. We call it duality. So get to understand it. Now, to have insight means to gain knowledge and experience. So you have wisdom into what? Into the nature of reality. You're starting to realize, and it gives us a clue as to the way to what? Realize the oneness of what? Creation within ourselves. That's the caveat. Religions teach you that God is somewhere else. I teach you, and our ancients taught you, God's within you. Moving on. Just get to understand. Don't think God's anywhere else. So, and what they mean by reuniting, meaning you got to become conscious of that fact. That's a fact. You just don't know it in the human form. Why? Because you ain't conscious of it. Moving on. And by reuniting what? The male and the female principles in our bodies and minds, what happened? We may reach the oneness that underlies our apparent manifestation as what? A man or a woman in the physical form. But when you become conscious of that fact, you know you really just one. And everything is from the one. That spiritual orgasm is that bliss, that ecstasy, when you just joy from just feeling good. That's a spiritual orgasm. Okay? Y'all call it the Holy Ghost. See? Don't even understand the concept. It's just a concept, and it's a feeling that you can express. Same way when you physical orgasm, same thing. You can have that in the dream. So it ain't all physical. Bam. Let's go. The union of what? The male and the female. Here we go. Principles may be affected by what? Two individuals who what? Who worship God through lifestyle. And God's manifestation in what? In each of them by an individual who seeks union through what? God, through what? Uniting with what? His or her female, male or female spirit you have. Your spirit is androgynous, but it got a few female qualities, it got a few male qualities. And sometimes the brain, sometimes, maybe misconstrued them. Homosexuality is a mental thing. Stop what I was born. No. It's a choice that you made in your mind. So that part we ain't getting into. But this is how you stop the gender concept right here. You have both sides in you. You have to come to grips and balance it out and understand no one more is important than the other. Why? All men and women, watch this, have both female and male principles within themselves. So please understand that, and we can deal with those who think they're something other than what they are. We can deal with that from a psychological concept. That's all. Please, it's not a lifestyle. This is going to prove it out. Watch this. This is the perfect way to start the gender nonsense. Netter, watch this. No, oh, excuse me. Now, in the Egyptian philosophical concepts, the system, we say all netters or God principles. Remember, these are principles emanate from what? The one God. I tell you that, the one. When these principles are understood and are created, what happened? They are depicted as having male and female principles. Yin and yang. Same thing. Equal opposites. Same thing. Up, down. Same thing. Heads, tail. Same thing. Left wing, right wing. Same bird. So you get where I'm going with that. So all objects, again, I should just start with that. All objects and life forms appear in creation as either male or female, this or that. But underlying this apparent duality, again, that's what it's called, there is a unity which is rooted in the pure consciousness of what? Oneness. In the consciousness of God, which what? Underlies and supports what? All things in creation. Trying to stay calm. But to realize this, right thinkers, to realize this oneness consciously deep inside is what? Our supreme goal as right thinkers. That's knowing thyself. I'm enjoying this because if you're getting this concept, I'm doing my job. So let me keep going. Netter, singular one, supreme being, again, created the goddess who knew. That's the female that you see stretching over. We put everything in picture form and try to get you to understand it because a picture says 1,000 words. Okay, we see that, oh, they about to get busy. No, they just stopped getting busy. That ain't gonna happen no more. Now, only way you can get busy is you bring them together within you. That's the name of the game. That's the concept I'm trying to get you to understand. Watch this. When he created Newt, which is what? Sky, heaven, she represented fire. And watch this. The god Geb is what? Earth, solid. And God Geb and the goddess Newt represents what? The male, Geb, female, Newt. Principles of what? Creation. Again, you can't have earth without heaven. You can't have heaven without earth. It's the same thing. It don't change for nothing. Please understand that. So watch this. And that's them respectively. Then the supreme nameless God created what we call air. We called him Shu. We gave air an identity. It's called Shu. Okay? Firstborn. First concept. Why? He knew before we got here what we're going to need before we got here. Air. Watch this. To what? Separate separate heaven from earth. Quick story. The story goes, Geb and Newt they're getting them busy. Okay? Loving it. God knew that in order for him to do his creation with humans, they had to separate. Shu. Handle that. That's where you see Shu pushing her up, standing on him, holding him down, securing him, and pushing her up. That's called separation or raising. Shu was the raiser. He's pushing what? Only thing between heaven and earth now is what? Shu, air. Moving on. That's the concept. When you're making a physical world, watch this, and a heavenly world, that's the whole idea. Thus, it is what? Through the separation of what? Heaven and earth by the God, Shu, air, that the universe was created. All this is done before we've even come into the picture. Understand that. That's why we give God the title of all consciousness. This didn't just happen by accident. This cycle of what's going on creation, it just bang, and all of a sudden everything just, no, not like that. We get a better understanding. I like that. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Now, you ready for this? The obelisk. Big monument. The obelisk is a tall, tapering tower with what? The pyramid on the top, called a pyramidion. But what happened? Know what it represents? The erectile power of what? The physical human body, represented by Geb, as personified by God of the earth, principle Geb, Also, men. I showed you men about sexual sublimation. That's what he represents. But watch this. He also represents men as what previously discussed. I gave that lesson already. But our physical nature, watch this, though susceptible to what? To the temptations of the flesh, is capable of what? Great energy. That's our sperm, our semen. Watch this. In viewing any obelisk, it should be understood that it should be noted what? That it represents a phallus uniting heaven and earth as it reaches up out of the earth gap through the air shoe towards what? Heaven, new. Dr. Ben said, heaven between the black woman's legs. Ain't that what the black man trying to get? Moving on. Quick joke. Thus, symbolically, what's this? An obelisk represents the unity of what? Female and male powers, aka heaven and earth. They said, love the hoe. The hoe is an instrument for tilling the earth, right? So they got a picture of it right here at the bottom. Y'all know how many farmers we got here. But a lot of people don't know what a hoe is right there. See the instrument down there? Okay. They call that love. And let me break that down for you right quick. Remember, we spoke in pictures. You see the picture, you understood the concept. So right here, the ritual of hoeing of the earth relates to what? The preparation of the human body, cultivating physical health in order to what? Allow higher spiritual growth. Mind, body, and soul. The body have to be exercised. You have to put the body in physical fitness mode so it can do what it needs to do. Okay. The whole is what? It's the symbol of love. Okay. Therefore, the earth, which is God, physical human body, which is us, must be carefully what? Cultivated. I'm doing that now, teaching you. Prepared to what? Receive spirituality, aka spiritual knowledge, through the practice of love, listening, reflecting, and meditating on the lesson. Watch this. As it is the God Shu, air, who is responsible for keeping Geb and Nu, each male and heaven female, earth is male, heaven female, Geb is earth, keeping them apart. Why? It's also Shu who perpetuates the appearance of the world of duality and separation with many male and female forms. His female counterpart is Tough Nuke, moisture. He's dry air, she's moist air, aka rain. So therefore, it is Shu who to what? Whom we must turn to what? Reunite the illusion of separation in our consciousness in order to end the appearance of duality. Everything got to become one. I was one, I became three. From the three, I go back to one. Why? Because when each one of them realize who they are, they realize they're me and I am them. I am a father, I one, that concept. Now let's talk about, you see here. Now, this is something, you see, that's Osiris and that's Aset. This is the story about the Immaculate Conception. Okay? There's no penis involved here. So no sex. So it's a spiritual connection. It ain't physical. Watch this. Now, Aset representing what? The physical body. She's on top, creation. And fellas, because Nu is female principles, whenever we having sex, the woman's going to be on top. Understand that why she covers the man. I gave that lesson a long time ago, but that's the concept. But most men like to be on top. Everybody know this style. We ain't going, that ain't one thing. I ain't talking about that. But the concept, the woman's on top. Let her have her way. Moving on. Now, the physical body, dead of Asar, it represents what? The spirit. Remember, 5 elements before Asar, everything was elemental. Air, sun, Shu, air, Tough Nuke, moisture, Nuke, heaven, Geb, earth. Next is spirit. In what? In man. That's us, which is represented by Sar. And that essence, watch this, which vivifies matter, life, spirit, are shown in symbolic, immaculate union. And watch this, compared to the Kali position. That's what the woman on top, if she facing you, she's on top. If the other way around, what's that, reverse cowgirl, whatever you call it. But okay, but Kali, if you know who Kali was in Hindu relation thing, when you have sex with her, party's over. But when she having sex with her man, I got a picture of that over here. I'm gonna show you that in 1 second. But yeah, following on the next page, I'm gonna show you that. Now you got Aset begetting Haru, and symbolizes, watch this, and symbolizing to what? The immaculate conception, which takes place at the birth of what? You ready? The spiritual life in every human being. We all have to become spiritually enlightened. We all have to be what? Born again. That's where the concept come from. I understand that from the darkness of ignorance of yourself or God into his glorious life. Yeah, I'm 100% understanding that. Excuse me. But I knew what we was doing before that. That's all I'm trying to explain to you. I'm not against what you're doing. I'm just trying to tell you what you don't know. My job is to enlighten you. That's all. I ain't trying to convert you or change you. Just trying to enlighten you, help you out. The birth is what? Of the soul, your bond, where in a human is the birth of who? Haru. Your higher you, the real you, the spirit that's in you from your father who you've been reincarnated to represent here on earth. From the stela at the British Museum. That's what's on the wall. Then, right here, let me show you some more stuff right here. Okay. Another picture time. See at the bottom here? That's us on the right, the Egyptian concept. You got Tufnut reaching over. You got Geb laying down in the pose. That's the sitting position. But you see the other one, that's the Kama Sutra. Now in India, they had a whole bunch of different sexual poses that they knew was exercise for them, but at the same time pleasurable if you know what you're doing. And watch this, it's going to tell you about that. I'm not doing all that. Swinging from the chandeliers and all that nonsense, jumping from the dresser. Back in the day, yeah, not now. Okay, now watch this. Shu represents air. The breathing process is the only autonomic body system that can be consciously controlled. You can control your air intake. You can control your breathing. I tell you, they got an hour-long show on how to breathe for different things to open up different areas in the body, including the chakras, all that good stuff. So breathing ain't just breathing now. So understand it. They got a whole different concept. And once you learn how to meditate, you understand the breathing aspect is important also. But watch this. Therefore, through breath control of air, which contains what? Within it, the life force we call sekam. Other ones call it prana, and they call it chi. That sustains all life. It's in the breath. You gotta let it go. You gotta let the breath go. Okay? You can't do it so long holding it. You can't but do it so long without it. So you need it. Watch this. But you can control your intake of it. We may have an effort, watch this, on our own consciousness and thereby affect what? A reunification of what? Who you trying to reunite? Who you trying to reunite? New heaven and Geb earth with what? Within your own consciousness. How could you do that? Raise the Kundalini. That's Geb. And when he go up and hit ding, 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 you have that bliss, we're gonna call it. Y'all hear orgasm, y'all think everything is all sexual. Sexual orgasm is physical. Spiritual orgasm is mental. Moving on. That is to say what? We may unite our human consciousness, which is mental, our female principle, which is the receiver of life, with the cosmic consciousness, God, which is the male aspect, principle, which is the giver of life. Hence, female receive, male give. The man is pitching, the woman is receiving. I'm not pitching to another man. I'm just saying, moving on. An individual, watch this, can thus reunite what? The Geb and Newt principles where? Within him or herself. How? Through the Shu principle, the breathing technique. In Egyptian philosophy, watch this. This process is called what? Weaving of Haru. See? And it encompasses The climbing of increasing levels of consciousness upon what? The ladder of new, trying to get to heaven. All process, give me any process, which brings one what? Closer to one's heavenly nature. That's called the yoga concept, yoga process. Why? Yoga means to unite, commune with your higher self. That's why. Now, in general, this explains the fact what? That females are usually what? More receptive and intuitive than the men. That's not a knock on nobody. It's just a fact. Moving on. I'm not gonna sit here and argue male and female. They want who's smarter, who more. No, they ain't got. Get past that. I just showed you the picture at the bottom, and it tells you you got Gab and Newt being separated each from other by shoe. Then on the right hand side, you got this what they call that position. You got the spinning top. Fellas, we used to call it propeller, okay? But this one, you got to be on the floor. Watch this. Now she's on top. This is the position from India, Tantra Yoga. They call it Kama Sutra. Watch this. The spinning top position from the Indian Tantra Yoga is similar to the Gab and New pose. No, it ain't. The spinning top, watch this, pose is performed, watch this, in the following manner. The female remains above while slowly spinning around while united with the male. So she's doing it and she's spinning. It's clear, watch this, to see, fellas, that mental concentration is needed to form these poses along with what? Physical stamina. You got to be in shape, okay? Understand that. Now, the effort is what? In this direction, which allows what? Time for the practitioners to what? Develop sexual life force energy and its sublimation into what? Spiritual energy. They knew the importance of the semen. Okay. If it's the life giver, imagine if it's giving life and you bring it out, what do you think you can do if you keep it in? We call it killing babies back in my day, yeah, you're just wasting it. But we didn't know that. I didn't know, but yeah. So I'm trying to get my people to understand. You are a valuable piece of work. And that thing between your legs is a valuable piece of thing. It can be used one of two ways. Destructive or constructive. Your choice. Moving on. But that's the lesson for my young boys. I got something for you. Now, doing the practice of Tantric Yoga, watch this. Each individual is what? Instructed, listen, to regard the other as what? A divinity, which all humans are innately anyway. See, again, we have to respect one another at that level. Watch this. And what? To worship each other as such. Males, female, and what? To alternate roles. I ain't into the role playing. We was joking last week, a week ago, so about the role playing in the male and female, right? And my brother-in-law, he ain't down with the he homophobic, so ain't nobody doing me. He couldn't imagine switching roles. But so yeah, but the idea is to respect the other person. That's what it means. Now each partner, watch this. I just told you, each partner sees themselves as what? Male or female, which is right. As they visualize the life force, which is growing. That's the sexual urges. Remember, the life force is your sperm, your energy. Okay? Now, doing physical sexual intercourse, watch this, between a man and a woman. Doing a physical sexual intercourse between a man and a woman. I did that purposely. It is the male who what? Who gives, aka pitching. And it's the female who receives, aka the catcher. If I look at the mound and I see I'm not pitching. Get the concept? So yeah, watch this. Sexual intercourse is used to what? Heighten the static feelings, okay? And to what? There you go. To develop your psychic energy for what? Spiritual attainment. It should be an experience, not just bang bang. No, trust me. They knew the importance of it. They didn't have a problem. They didn't have a population problem. Baby making out of Nonsense. They knew the power, they had control over their lower nature. Watch this. Now, due to the power of the sexual force, and that's the strongest force known to man. Oh, yeah. And watch this. And the danger, there you go, of one's inability, right there, to control one's mind and direct it to what? God, not themselves, while in practice. Tantra yoga, watch this, involving sexual intercourse is not advised. Why? Only if for those aspirants who undergo the rigorous psychological training, which may take months or years to perfect. When the guys, the monks and nuns go into they're not worried about sex. Sex ain't what they're going to do other things. Worship, be devoted to other stuff. Live a spiritual life. Spirituality means I'm doing what's right. Moving on. And watch this. It is possible that a misdirected practitioner may fall. You're bad preachers. Those guys who claim to be men of God, but temptation gets them and they end up impregnate one of the girls from the congregation, that type of stuff, or having a gay relationship, that kind of nonsense. That's what they're talking about. Right there. A practitioner may fall, watch it, deeper into the earthly, physical desires, rather than using them to transcend the earthbound existence. Elevate yourself. Don't lower yourself. I'm just saying, breathing exercises is very important. Well, I know how to breathe. We're not talking about that. Again, breathing exercises is important. Why? Physical and mental purifications are necessary before pursuing this Tantra yoga practice. I'm going to stop here because I see the clock. I got another lesson for you. We just getting started. The title, New and Gab. I'm going to teach you how to supplement your sexual urges, your life force. Semen retention was practiced a long time ago. It's important. In closing, right thinkers, may you live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know, like, right thinkers, if you had passed away. I'll be back. I got more for you.